Um, it's been, I think, like a week or so since my last stream, maybe more. I don't know. With this pandemic, kind of like the concept of time looks to be completely blurry. I know I had a bit of a hiatus, mainly because there was a lot of things happening at work that we're trying to deliver for Q3, as well as some of the, I guess, this general feeling of tiredness that I think everybody has, where, at the end of the day, you're kind of like out of energy and you need to like reload a little bit. I'm sure everybody is kind of like feeling more or less the same way. I also have been putting a bit of time setting up or finishing to set up my Windows environment. As you might have heard from the streams that I had, the past couple of streams, I got like back to Windows, and it's been sort of interesting and cool getting to like relearn Windows after working on Windows for quite a bit in the early 2000s, and then I switched to Mac, I believe around 2005, and have been only Mac for that time. And during that time, I think Windows has gone a long way um, to uh, improve and become better. And I've been playing with like the Windows um, Linux WSL, the subsystem um, layer, and it's pretty cool. Like cool things. I have Ubuntu like running, and you can have a console. And now Docker client also allows you to be running on both on the client, like on the Windows, but also like running inside of the WSL. So a lot of like cool stuff. Maybe uh, sometime in the future I'll put some videos around it. Although, like I said, my productivity hasn't been that spot on. I hope to get out of this funk a little bit. I also figured out how to like not having to do the manual switching. So I hope that you guys are kind of like following better, because now I put everything sort of like in a window capture on OBS. So whenever I switch applications, you should be able to see it. So yeah, as everything kind of like my personal philosophy and what I think you guys should also apply is that don't rush anything, don't feel pressured if you're not feeling up to it in terms of productivity. Like just take a break and get away from things, and then get back when you feel like it. It's I think it's part of being human, I guess. And this whole like situation with the pandemic, of course, makes it all a little bit more stressful and painful. Um, if you're on the chat or watching live, don't be a stranger. Say hi. Would love to meet you guys and answer any questions as I go along. And the title for today's event or stream is sort of like getting back into it. So there's no specific thing I want to get out of today's session, but just kind of like getting back to business and remembering like what we had done in the past. Um, I had to like kind of like rebuild stuff in my local machine because of the WSL installation. And I want to do like a quick check-in of the changes I did. Oh, that looks really nice. Hope you guys can read that font size. I'm gonna be replaying it and seeing if it's readable. But let me know if that font is too small for you to see on full screen. Of course, if you're looking at YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, like it's a small window, so you have to like kind of like increase the size for sure. But on full screen, if that's too small, do let me know. So yeah, I've cleaned up a little bit of the OBS like setup as well. So now it's just like the logo, and I'm leaving the chat window just for the main window here, so that we have more real estate for the code and stuff. And I also am able to now switch. I'm just testing. Yeah, that works fine. And here's the QuartFeed browser window and the MySQL kind of like window. Oh, thanks. KQZ is on the chat. Thank you for letting me know. That's awesome to hear. So yeah, the idea then here is like to kind of like reconnect and see that we're back to speed. The last time we had we were working on this, we were trying to get the posts like JavaScript up and running. So it was around this area here. I remember that I had an error the last time. I think it was because I wasn't passing the session, I believe, around here. I think, yeah, see, session user ID. We don't have that information, so we need to pass it from the outside. So I'm gonna say set username. I'm not sure why we need username here. Let's see. I believe we only need the user ID to get the posts, get latest posts. So let's switch that over. Oh, so before that, I want to like do a check in here because I did change. I did delete a PDB that I had running there, and I had a pip file pointing to Python 3.8. Although, even though the pipenv, I mean the Docker image was Python 3.8, so there was like a bit of a problem there. So I'm just gonna say, oh, before I do that, I think I have to probably, yeah, this is a weird PowerShell error that I get here on the terminal, but let me see if the SSH agent is running. We're connecting to, yeah, so it's not running. That's something that I'm still kind of like not getting really good, really well set up. It's the SSH agent. It's not running. Yeah. Agent start. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. So in any case, I'm not gonna be able to do the git commit here until I figure that out. But that's fine. We know that there's like some pending git changes here to be committed or pushed to the server. So I already created the users here. So I have the sfoobar with like its profile image, and I also have Jungle G, which I recreated as well. And so we're gonna try to like post something here and check that it's getting to the database. So hello everyone. Jorge post. Okay, so that should have been recorded on the database. So let's see if we had an error here. So it says, oh, so it's still, yeah, it's still getting that error. Hold on. I think it did get to the database, but it's just like it's running into that session user ID thing here. But let's check here the post. Post, yeah. Hello everyone. So see, it's getting to the database, so that's good. So let's fix that. I think I just need the user ID here, and if we need the username, we'll get it. User ID, and then we have to pass that here because this is a function inside a function, and then we can say user ID here, and then save that. And let's see if we get that error here. Okay, so if we reload here, oh, that is cool. I wasn't expecting that. So I didn't remember that we had already set up the getting the things in there. We have to put a little bit of a CSS rule there because the post button is right up there. But yeah, this is really cool. Let's see if we can do how is everyone doing? Post. Right, so I have to reload, which is okay. So we had that 2 minutes ago. That counter thing is pretty cool. Quite a surprise to see that that's working. So I don't know if you guys remember, but we had the broadcast.js was gonna get sent a context with the cursor ID, and that was like kind of like where we were in terms of what's the latest post that we need to check from, right? So let me see if on the view page source if I can see the so see, it's 2, which means that on the database that's post number 2. That's the latest post, and in reverse order, right? So let's go ahead and check what we need to do. So here it's passing the broadcast.js. When it loads, it passes the SSC with the cursor ID. And then the on message is whenever we get a new message, we're gonna go ahead and create a new text node on the content DOM. See here. Get element by ID post. Message DOM is an LI. And we have posts in here, I believe, right? Yeah, we have posts. So, but these are not ULs. So that's gonna be something we need to change. Media body for class div class media. I want to put something here where the ID is the post ID so that we can locate that. Hey, Jonathan, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. And yeah, love that people are coming in. Not guys and gals. We have to make sure that we're inclusive. But yeah, awesome to see you here. Oh, thank you for being a fan. I hope that I'm helping you guys kind of like explore new things and getting super excited to get you guys to get to know you guys. So yeah, let me see the chat looks really nice with all that activity here. All right, so we can do like an ID here so that I'm thinking that when we have a like for one of these posts, we need to identify that div ID. So I'm gonna say ID equals, and this is like CSS. Like it's useful to know. Well, not CSS only, but like the whole DOM structure. So each div class media is gonna have its own ID, which means that it's an identifier and it's a unique value across the page. Like if you have more than one ID that has the same, it's not like HTML breaks or anything, but it's just like bad practice, because if you want to do a get element by ID and you have multiple IDs, then it's not, it's not good. So you want to have that ID to be just like a database record, to be something unique. So I'm going to say post dash and then insert the Jinja thing here to be the value of post.id. So let's see if that works. Remember that when we do changes on the templates, it doesn't necessarily reload, although I'm not sure if it reloaded. Let's see. Why can't? That's weird. On Mac, if you do enters here, that you get a space, or if you type something, but that's not happening here. But let's do a Control C and restart. Jonathan asks, is ID really only used for a unique identifier for manipulating elements using JavaScript? I wouldn't say only, but definitely it's one of the most common like usages is to identify that element within the DOM. Not only for JavaScript, because you could have also like CSS rules that say like, I mean, CSS today is like very complex, so you can do like, put a yellow color for even ID numbers, for example. But yeah, I mean, it's an identifier for that element within that page for sure. So let's go to the page. Yeah. So let's do you can do a reload on the view source, and it'll reload the page just like that. So see, now it's saying post 1 and post 2. No problem, Jonathan. You got it. So now we have the post ID there. I don't think we're gonna use that like right away, but we're gonna probably use it soon when we do the likes. And just as a refresher, I'm sure you guys, if you've been following the series, we're doing something like the friend feed, kind of like UI, which is this thing here. Let me see if I can. I cannot zoom that in, but let me see if I can. Revealing File Explorer. Yeah. Mm. So here it is. Let's put that a little bigger. So that's the concept we're trying to get into is, um, have the posts in there with the text. The username is on the top, and then the timer. This from Twitter is not going to be applicable, but you can do comment, like, and hide. And if people like it, there's like a little smiley thing, and the user like this. So maybe a version one. I think you guys can go ahead and do more stuff with it after I kind of like release this on the as an open source project, and I don't know. This is like such a cool um, such a cool project to like build on top of, and can be used for things that you can definitely um, uh, kind of like leverage for projects that you have. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. It says 199 USD. I think that's like premium chat, so it's like a super sticker. It doesn't render very well um, on this view here, but thank you. I really appreciate that. Uh, so hopefully, like I said, this is something that you guys can use and kind of like learn from, and hopefully this is, as you know, part of a course, so we're gonna be releasing this um, in both in YouTube and in Udemy, and um, in the other platforms where my courses are. And I'm having this philosophy after like a while of releasing everything everywhere, because I think that if people can pay for my course, they should be able to follow it on YouTube for free, and I believe that that just like multiplies into good things for you. And if people can pay, I believe that they're gonna pay for the course in Udemy, and those that cannot pay will do it in YouTube for free. But I think on a net, I think everybody's gonna be um, uh, like they improve their lives in many ways, including my own life. So yeah, let's continue. So we have the post ID there, and there's now we need to like get, wait, I have a search enabled. I don't know what this is like showing, or okay. So we're gonna do post results, and we're gonna say from post ID cursor ID. Now I don't remember if we set this up on the model. From post ID. From post ID. Oh, I think I remember. I was trying to see if this daisy chaining would work, because this is on like SQL Alchemy core, and you can do this kind of things on ORMs. Like you have your initial query here, select where everything, limits, offset, apply labels. This is so that all the fields have their proper name. But then I wanted to say, this works if the from post ID is not being passed, but if it's being passed, now requery, or not requery, like apply this filter to this. And that's where I think I wasn't sure if it was going to work. And I believe I had a PDB. Yeah, I had a PDB here. So let's try that. PDB. By the way, this black formatter does this, like breaks this into two lines, and I don't like that at all. I wish I had like I could build a rule that says ignore PDB and just leave it in one line, but that's just the way it is. But I think we're passing the post results here with the from post ID cursor ID. So let's put a PDB also here to make sure that it's passing the right thing. And we have to attach. So you know that we need to like Docker attach so that we can see the PDBs here. Docker attach lit, not lit. That's the Docker name from my work. Sorry about that. This is what? QuartFeed? I can't remember. What's the container name? QuartFeed web 1. Yeah. QuartFeed web. Oh, I'm sorry. Guys, I forgot to like switch to that view. QuartFeed web 1. It's not recognized as a name. What? Okay. So I think this PowerShell terminal is oh wait, it's not Docker dash attach. Docker. There you go. I was like, Docker attach is not working. What's that? What does that mean? Okay, so we're gonna starting. Okay, so we're gonna reload the page and see what happens. Reload. Okay, so it's on a spinning wheel, which is a good sign. So let's see where we're stopping in the post results. Okay, so let's check that we have the user ID here. Yep, we have the cursor ID. There should be 2, I believe. It's not defined. Why is that not defined? Cursor ID. So let's see the request args. Request is, oh, it's because I'm inside this thing. Yeah. Cursor ID. The connection is being passed. Yeah. But cursor ID is not set. It's not defined. Maybe I'm not passing it on the send events connection. Oh, username. I'm still passing username here. Yeah. It should be user ID. Okay. So I think, well, when we save this, it should like restart. So this should be user ID. Why is it that quickly? Undefined variable username. Well, this is confused. This is getting confused because it's not being used like immediately, but it is being used lower here. So I think, let's see, user ID, cursor ID, and user ID. Why is it saying on define variable username. Save this. Oh, there you go. You had to save and relent. So let's put the PDB outside and see what's if that this is not being called properly. I'm gonna continue here or Control C. This is just not stopping. Let's try stopping this on the outside. Okay, Docker compose up. Expected an indented block. Line 76. Oh. I don't know what that parenthesis was. Curse user ID. We're passing that to here. Okay. So that should work. We have to stop and start because that's like a fatal error. Okay, it's up. Now let's go ahead and reload. Okay, that's in the PDB state. And we haven't attached. Okay, so now we're in the PDB. Okay, so now I want to check that the cursor ID is being set. Cursor, why are you all caps? Cursor ID. It's not being sent. So request dot args is not defined. Yeah, there's something weird going on in here. Where is the Jonathan? So cursor ID is like the last post that we have on the page. So when we first load the page, so well we don't see it here, but remember that we had two posts here. The cursor ID would be 2 because we have the last post ID is 2, and the function is supposed to be looking, okay, do I have posts larger than 2? Let me get that. So it's sort of like it's a cursor on which is the last post ID that we have on the page, so that any new ones are higher than that one and will, like not asynchronously but through SSE, inject into the page. So, but I'm pretty sure that when you when this is loaded, it reads that cursor ID from the context of the page that we're injecting, which is in here. Not here on the no in this other page here. In cursor ID is here, and we pass it to the page as a context, and then that's sort of like built as part of the JavaScript to be that value there. So it's sort of like a pointer to the last message. But for some reason, when this thing is like reading that, So it's reading the cursor ID and it's going SSC cursor ID blah. And we can see that actually. Let me see if that's being shown on the network tab. So I guess we cannot see the network tab here because it's on hold. But in any case, it should be. We should have a request, a Quart request object from here, from Quart request, this thing here. So let's see if I can do from. Okay, and then do request dot args. Yeah, it's empty. So let's continue. Oh, there it is. So maybe it had like a kind of like a queued like request going on in here. So continue. Okay, so now we're in this thing here, the chained the change query thing that I did. So from post ID should be 2 from post ID. Yep. So if I do a print str of that query, I should get this thing as part of the query. And if that's true, then we are in a very good place because we have successfully chained 2 queries. So select post as post, username from post where, and feed equals blah blah blah, and action. Yeah, so it's not daisy chaining because the where is not showing me. It's just showing these things, which is the feed post ID is post, and the feed 2 user ID equals to user ID, which is this, and from user ID is user dot ID, and action is 1. Yeah, so it's not daisy chaining, which is unfortunate. What I wanted to avoid was like doing this large query thing and saying if from post ID is more than 0 or greater than 0, then do the whole thing. But I guess we're gonna have to do that. Let's see if we can find something about daisy chaining. SQL Alchemy Core daisy chaining query. Hey Google, so there's no daisy there, so why are you even recommending this? Yeah, and the thing is, like, there's very little documentation on SQL Alchemy Core because so few people use it. Let's see if I get chaining query. How to properly join No, so this is not. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do a bit of repeating stuff, unfortunately. So let's continue here. I got a 500. What's the 500? I'm curious. It says username is not defined. Oh yeah, of course, because that's a test. Okay, so let's take this out. It's sucky that I have to like repeat so much stuff, but if we find another way to do this, then we'll do it. So copy this whole shebang and then do paste. So let's add this where feed table and blah, right? And then close the query. Right on. So if the post ID is more than 0, greater than 0, then do this. Where, oh, this is a typo from post ID. Yeah. So we can do else. And paste that thing here. Okay. Let's save that. So the idea here is that if the this should like return empty, because the very first time when you do the query, because it's just showing the posts that are greater than 2, which there are none. But if somebody else, including the same user, posts something, then it should come as true. So sorry, I have like some messages coming in. Okay. So let's do that. So we're gonna do right. So try da. We can put like a PDB inside now that we know that this is working. Save. Okay, that is running. Now we're gonna do load and continue. Should take this out. Okay, so reload. Okay, so we are in the PDB. The post results should be empty. Right, perfect. Because it's the first time, right? Now, I'm gonna yield the event, which is so depending on we're gonna we're gonna do post, but we should also check like likes and that's like an interesting thing. I think likes has a different model. Let's see. Yeah, like table, it's another table. So that's interesting. I should be keeping a cursor ID for likes as well. Comments, no, because comments are just part of the post table. It's just like if it's a comment, it has a parent post ID. So we can check both comments and likes. So that's interesting. So we'll for now let's not think about likes. Let's just do like posts. So okay. So continue. Event is not defined. That's very true. Let's actually name this something. Data event equals new post. And what is ID? Oh, ID was a random number. Yeah, so let's wait till we get that up and running. So event equals server sent event. Just so that we have that running. Okay. So every 10 seconds, we're doing an asyncio sleep 10 in here. See, it should like now poll again. Do I have any new post? No? Okay, go back. Do I have new post? No? Okay, go back. So yeah, this is working really nicely. I'm loving it. So post results, I'm not crazy about the name. Let's say recent posts. And we are going to okay, what to do next? I want to try with like posting a message because we should then get something here. Well, we need to save this. Yeah, okay, it did save. So let's reload here. Look at this. it's putting on the right UL, but it's not UL in the right div, but as ULs, which is completely out of out of the sign here. Well, that's interesting. I was gonna see the view. Where is the thing to put it on? Yeah, I like it below. I don't know what you guys, how you guys do this, but I like this to be like below the thing. I just got used to that. But here we have network. Trying to remember. I think I figured out the other day how to like see the. I don't think SSC events appear here on the network tab, which is. I think there's like a request for that to happen. But I think we can. We can do like console logging in there. XHR. See, we have they have WebSockets, but these are not exactly WebSockets. These are SSC events, but okay. So I think this is waiting for me to lift the PDB. Yeah. Come on. Continue. Yeah. So we should have like two more. Event. Oh, wait a minute. This is new. Message. Yeah. They might have just like added this event string. This is very cool. Wait, how did I get to this? Oh, on the SSC request. Okay. Let's try that out. Oh, this is exciting. So if I do continue here and continue, oh, why is that showing up? Okay, so now let's see the right on. See, the messages are coming here, so we can have we can see the data and the ID and everything else. That is very cool. I'm loving this. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left. But this has been very productive. So what do I want to do? I want to like post a message. Can get over that this is working with the message. Let's see here. So okay, so I'm gonna say, how's everyone doing? I really like this site. Okay, so if I post, oh, so something happening there. Broadcast.js. Oh, post. Okay, there was a post, and it's saying this is the payload preview response. I don't see the status, but I believe that was a 200. But in any case, we should now see that we did get a recent posts. Recent post. Huh? There's a typo. Recent. Oh, it's not there. Okay, so let's continue. Let's do that again. Recent posts. No. And no. Oh, it's because... No, that doesn't make any sense. Let's see, what's the cursor ID here? It's 2. So maybe the query's not working? Hmm. Let's double check that the model, that the query is properly being set. I think if I do a print, latest posts. And then here, let me update that to be recent posts. And then okay. So cursor ID should be 3 now. Oh, it's 2 still. Wait, why? If I reload this, yeah, there's 3 there. Oh, I think it's because I hadn't refreshed the page, so the 2 was that's what was coming. Okay, so let's see here. Where and feed post ID is I think it's that this param1, param2, I would like to see the actual values. So let's print something here where it says print oh, I think I have the wrong. It should be in parentheses. And let's do from post ID. Print from post ID. There you go. Let's do continue here, continue. And okay, from post ID 3. Okay, that's good. So continue. And let's go ahead and post something here. How is the weather? post. Now recent posts here should be empty. Okay, but if I do continue from post ID equals 3, right, and recent post is empty. It's like it's not picking up the, definitely not picking up the post number 4. Oh, there it is. Yes. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so what we want to do is then we can send this message back to the DOM, but we have to update the cursor ID to be the post ID. So recent posts dot first list. Oh, okay. So I guess it's recent post of 0. Oh, because I do make this a, no, it's a list coming from SQL query. That's interesting. Okay, so let's say recent post of 0 dot ID. No, so it's recent post of 0 of ID. Nope. How do I get the column? Missing something here. Is it is it post ID? I have the wrong. There you go. So that's it. So I have to do, let's see, len of recent posts is 1, right? So then I check if len of recent posts is greater than 0, then update the cursor ID. So cursor ID is now this guy here, and why are you squiggling in this invalid syntax? What? And what else? Okay, and then I should do the data stuff, right? Well, I should do the whole thing, actually. Get data from database, right? So the ID, well, actually ID is this guy here. Boom. The data is the post ID. The message is how's the weather? So that's the post. See? Body. Right? And wait, so the data is that event. Wait, this is a dictionary. Right on. So message is that, and then we'll do event equals data, and then new post. And let's take this out. Now the only thing is that new post is not being handled by broadcast.js. So this would have to be new post. And then we'll just console log. Console log event. Huh? Event is what? Function E. I think this be if there's an error. Is it e.data? Oh, because this, I think this was, I thought it was error, but let's see if that works. Okay, it's a lot of changes. Oop. Continue, and yeah, we should get a restart. We got recent post. How's the weather? Okay, so next ID is that, data is that. The data is post ID, message has the weather, and send that. Okay, continue. Now let's see on the browser, on the console, it says there's an error. All right, let's take out the PDB because I'm getting a little tired of this. Actually, let's see recent post. Okay, that's working fine. Come on. Okay, so let's take the PDB out. Now we know that we should get something here. Control save. Oh, I think it's, yeah, it's on an endless loop. This should be outside. Wait 10 seconds. Okay, so now, ta ta ta. Well, true. Yeah, this looks good. Let's do a stop here and start. Okay. I'm getting an error here. I don't know why. Okay. So how is the weather? Blah blah. See if we see anything here. Perfect from post ID 4. Yeah. So let's do are the Mets playing tonight? Post. And nothing. Yeah, so we received the post, but it didn't console log. Okay. But at least we see the message there. You see how it's in there? And let's try another one. Like, I hope the Mets win. Post. There you go. It's a little too long, 10 seconds, but no, that's fine. It's just like it's not falling into the into this new post like thing, or it's maybe it's I have to like double check what this the format of this is, because it might be that the E is not being set properly. Well, let's try application, no, sources. JS, broadcast JS. And oh, it hasn't refreshed the templates. See if I can do a hard empty cache and hard reload. There you go. So I think now it should work. But let's put a stop here just to see what happens. And say the Mets are the best team ever. Post. Mm-hmm. What's going on? Is there an error here? No. Sources. I think there's an error on the JavaScript because it's not. Comma expect. Oh, there's not a comma here. Control S. Empty cache and reload. Okay. Test, post. There you go. So E, let's see what E is. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can. There you go. There you go. So E.data is post ID 7, and then E dot post ID. So it's a string. I have to JSONify this. But yeah, that's very promising. Very promising. I love it. So continue. On the console we got this. Okay, cool. All right, let's leave it at that. Good, super good progress. I don't know how we got so much done, but yeah, definitely thank you guys for coming in, and hope to see you very, very soon. I promise I think I'm back into the groove of things. So yeah, look for me next week. Either a new video, and if you can come to the stream, better yet, remember to turn on the notifications bell, subscribe and notify, so that you can come into the actual stream. If not, hope you can see the recorded broadcast. So thank you, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.